Hey everyone, and welcome. You've seen it everywhere, right? That magic word unlimited. But when a service promises you the world, especially for something like email verification, you gotta wonder if it's a little too good to be true. Well, today we're gonna pull back the curtain on why that promise of unlimited almost always comes with some very, very real limits. This right here, this is the core of it all. It's a pretty bold statement, isn't it? It suggests that there's a specific technical reason behind what feels like a marketing gimmick. And you know what? There is. So, yeah, what is the real story? We're going to peel back that shiny marketing label and get right to the technical truth. Why do these limits actually exist? And what's the one tiny crucial detail that most services just don't talk about? Let's get into it. Okay, so our story begins with something you've probably felt, even if you couldn't put a name to it. We're talking about a hidden digital bottleneck. It's like hitting an invisible wall right when you're trying to get something important done. And man, is it frustrating. I'm willing to bet this sounds familiar to a lot of you. You sign up for the unlimited dream, you upload your massive email list, you're ready to go. And then, boom, everything just slows to a crawl. Your speeds get throttled, or you get an email saying you've hit some kind of cap you didn't even know was there. And it just doesn't make sense, right? I mean, we live in this age of the cloud, AWS, Google Cloud, where you're supposed to have infinite server power on tap. You should just be able to scale up forever. So what is really going on? Why is there this secret limit? Well, the answer is actually surprisingly simple, and it all comes down to one specific digital doorway. And here we go. The whole secret, the key to this entire mystery is something called Port 25. Now I know, that sounds super technical, but don't worry, we're gonna break it down really, really simply. Trust me, this is the aha moment that makes everything else make sense. So first, a super quick refresher on how this whole thing even works. At its heart, verifying an email is basically like making a quick phone call. Your verification tool connects to a person's email server and just asks, hey, does Jane Doe's email exist here? And the server just gives a simple yep or nope. That's it. It's a quick, direct little chat. Now, for that little chat to happen, it has to go through a very specific channel. Think of it like a special dedicated phone line just for email. That line is called Port 25. Every single email sent, every verification check made, it has to go through this one digital doorway. It's the universal standard, no way around it. And here's the kicker. The very companies that provide all that so-called unlimited power, the big cloud providers, they are the ones who put a major lockdown on this essential doorway. You can have all the computer power in the world, but it's totally useless if you can't get your messages through the door. Now, to be fair, they do this for a really good reason. The big players like Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, they lock down Port 25 to fight spam. I mean, can you imagine if spammers could use their massive networks? They could send billions of junk emails in seconds. So to protect all of us, they put heavy limits on any traffic going through that port. It's a security measure, but it has this huge, unintended side effect for email verification. All right, to make this whole idea really stick, let's put it in terms we can all picture instantly. Let's talk about a good old-fashioned traffic jam. Okay, so just imagine this. All of your email verifications are cars trying to get down a highway. But that Port 25 restriction from the cloud provider, that's like a highway that is permanently, unchangeably stuck at just 3 lanes wide. No matter what, you only get those 3 lanes. And this is the absolute key. A so-called unlimited service that runs on the cloud can add more servers, sure. But that's just like adding more cars to the road. If the highway itself only has 3 lanes, all you're doing is creating a bigger, nastier traffic jam. The bottleneck isn't the number of cars, it's the size of the road. This is why those services can never truly scale. And that traffic jam? Well, it has very real consequences for you. You know when you get throttled? That's just the service forcing all your cars to slow down to a crawl so they don't completely clog the highway. Those hidden caps? That's the fine print saying your unlimited road trip is actually over after 1,000 miles. And those crazy high costs for premium tiers? That's just you paying a fortune for a slightly less crowded lane on the exact same tiny highway. So now that we know all this, how can you actually make a smarter choice? Well, it all comes down to understanding what that word unlimited really truly depends on. The number one thing you need to know, the most important factor, is where the service is actually running. Is it built on top of that restricted cloud highway we've been talking about? Or does it do things differently? That is the fundamental question. So you basically have 2 kinds of services. On one side, you've got your cloud-based tools. They are always going to be stuck with that 3-lane highway limit. But on the other side, you have services that are not built on those big cloud platforms. The SOS calls them a local solution, which really just means they run on their own hardware. And because they're not using AWS or Google, they don't have to follow their rules. They have their own private multi-lane superhighway to Port 25. And that brings us to the biggest takeaway of all. Forget the marketing page. Forget the promises. The real limit of any service is defined by its underlying infrastructure and whether or not it has that direct open access to Port 25. So, I'll just leave you with this thought. The next time you're looking at a service and you see that magic word unlimited, now you know. You're not just going to look at the price, you're going to ask about the platform it's built on. And that right there is how you find true, genuine scale. Thanks for tuning in.